24 races in the One-Up Nitro National Series, and it all comes down to this one. The season finale, race 25 of 25. We are at the beautiful Homestead-Miami Speedway in southern Florida for the final race of the 2021 One-Up Nitro National Series season, and we have 6 cars in it with a shot at the championship, but realistically, it looks like it's going to be a battle between the two teammates of King's Motorsports. Keon Daley chasing Ryan Caggiano for the crown. One of them is going to likely be your champion unless some chaotic things happen in this race, which is not out of the question. We still got a lot of variables still to come after 81 laps here today. And alongside me in the booth today is Duke and Zach, as always, for today's race. Well, this is it. This is the one we've been waiting all year long for. And we've got so many storylines to talk about, but obviously the biggest one has to be the championship fight among the two teammates. Is there any way for these guys to be any closer in this championship fight?
I mean, really no, because the opportunity exists in so many different ways that they could end up in a tie at the end of this race, and a tie in points, and then, so it goes to a tiebreaker at that point if it were to happen like that. So really, they're just like completely close after an amazing playoffs that we've watched for both of these two drivers, and then the whole top 6 mathematically have a chance at this thing. If it were to go wrong with Ryan Caggiano and Keon Daley, Sam Donato's right there. Dylan Young not far behind either. So, there's a lot of storylines going on right now, but really, Ryan Caggiano so far this weekend has done everything he needed to do. He's sitting there in 3rd place starting position, which is a solid start spot for today. He needs to stay in that top 3, preferably top 2, but really top 3 would do it for him today. So he's got to stay up there. He's got to make it happen. Keon Daley has a lot more ground to make up. He's starting in 10th, but I believe he'll get there in this race. It always seems to work out that way, and Keon Daley needs to get maximum points today. It matters more than it's mattered in the rest of the season for him to win this race and get the fastest lap bonus point.
Looking at the starting lineup now for the final race of the season, Nikki Martinez gets her first pole of the season. She is with the slimmest of chances at a championship. She lines up on pole position with Alex Fischer alongside her. As you said, Ryan Caggiano starts 3rd, Keon Daley 10th. And as for the other drivers with a shot at the championship, Martinez is on pole. Aaron Hall starts 18th. Dylan Young starts 5th, and Sam Donato starts 12th. So they're all starting within the top 20, but it's going to be, I have a feeling that as soon as this race gets underway, it'll be a dogfight between the two teammates, trying to stay within sight of each other, hoping for a disaster for the other, and at this point, the championship, well, it's entirely up for grabs at this point. This is the race we've been looking forward to most of all. Is there anything left for these cars to put on the table?
No, this is the end of the season. You're putting all you're sliding all your chips to the middle of the table right now. This is where, if you've been saving anything this season, if you've got a little bit of a trick here, something you can tweak in the motor, something here in the underbody of the car, a little bit of an aerodynamic advantage that you got away with earlier in the season, you get it now. I mean, this is the time to pull all stops, to have the best car that you can possibly bring to this racetrack here at Homestead-Miami Speedway. It's gonna be it's all out there tonight. So this is it. It's time to win the race. It's time to get all the points, and it's time to finish off this championship.
And on a weekend where we celebrate a life well lived and where we crown a champion in the One-Up Nitro National Series, the grid is all lined up and we're ready to bring you the action from Homestead-Miami Speedway. It's the final race of the One-Up Nitro National Series season, and the green flag coming up shortly. You're not going to want to miss a thing. As the field rolls off turn number 4, pace car is off, and for the final time in 2021, the One-Up Nitro National Series ready to put on a show. The green flag is in the air. Join us for a silent lap 1. We're underway at Homestead. a brilliant getaway from Nikki Martinez. She leads lap 1. But how about the run from Austin Runkle in his only his second series start? Up on the high side in that Spotify Toyota, trying to make it run on Alex Verstappen in the 3. He's trying to take second away and try and challenge his teammate for the race lead off of 2 down the back straightaway.
Yeah, this racing, again, another week in a row where this is just absolutely crazy. All these cars in the draft, everybody trying to make it happen. You can see Ryan Caggiano there, the leader of the championship. He's sitting in 3rd on the outside, 4th overall. And he's just got to stay right there, and he's got to stay out of trouble in this race because with cars all around like this, this is when you can have a Speedway style big one. And look at that. He's on the outside lane, 2x2 from the 2nd row and the 3rd row there on this track. And, it's just, you just got to be careful for the whole of this race. Just very, very careful. You got a pit stop coming, and you just gotta be careful. It's all about it. That 8 car is really riding the wall in the back there, but this is crazy. They're going 3 wide for a second on this track. I am excited to watch the end of this, the rest of this race, because this racing so far has been incredible. The 18 car has taken the lead.
How about Austin Runkle leading his first lap in one-up competition? He takes the lead on lap number 3, and he leads lap 4. He leads over his teammate Nikki Martinez side by side with Alex Verstappen. Ryan Caggiano now 3rd. We got 3 Kings Motorsports cars in the high group. Martinez goes highest of all. She's going to swoop around the outside of Austin Runkle to take the lead right back. Martinez back in the lead on lap number 5, and they're 3 wide behind her for second. Ryan Caggiano ripping that wall, trying to do everything he can to get up front, get that bonus point, and hope Keon Daley doesn't do the same.
Yeah, this is incredible because we've got, that far outside lane. This is going to be the kind of race where the closer you are to the wall of the corners, the faster you're going to go down the straightaways. That's what's going to pass people. We saw Nikki Martinez just do it to the 18 car there. And that was a risky move, but you have to take that momentum when you get it. And Nikki Martinez needs all the points she can get today in this race. So definitely go out there, get max points today, try to figure it out. But Ryan Caggiano, the person she's trying to catch, is sitting there right there in 2nd place, right on the outside, just playing it safe, moving up through the field, keeping it steady there in 2nd place.
And he continues to hold that 2nd place. He looks to the inside of Martinez, thinks better of it, tucks back in. Coming off of turn 4, Caggiano holds the 2nd position, and he extends his championship lead by a little bit over Keon Daley, who currently runs in the 8th position, battling Alex Verstappen for 7th. But how about Mark Davey on the outside in his last Nitro National race before moving up to the big leagues of the Superstar Series? He wants to prove he's strong on the ovals as well. And Mark Davey, after 3 road course wins this season, making a move now on Ryan Caggiano for 2nd. I'm not sure if it's going to stick or not. 2 Australians do battle for the 2nd position. How about Keon Daley ripping the wall, trying to gain some time on these guys? They're doing absolutely everything they can to win this championship. And at this point, it's still anybody's guess who will win it all.
Yeah, Keon Daley has just got to get up there. It's the time of this race where you just need to go up there. It's 3 wide. It's just so dangerous, but you have to make moves. You have to get the track position. You have to be up there. You never know. There might not be a caution in this race. So, there might not be a point where the field bunches back up. So you have to stay within range. You have to really, be there for this race. And it's going to be dangerous for all of these drivers to be up there with everybody, and there's still 3 wide going through these corners. It's making me pretty nervous watching these guys go 3 wide like that, but it's just how it's going to be all day. They're going to have to figure it out. They're going to have to make it happen on the outside lane and gain positions that way.
Once again, we have 3 Kings Motorsports Toyotas up in the top groove. It's Caggiano, followed by Runkle and Daley. Trying to make a move on Mark Davey now for the 2nd position is Ryan Caggiano. Oh, Keon Daley came so close to scraping the wall there off of 4, but he keeps it clean as Ryan Caggiano swoops underneath his teammate Martinez to try and take the lead of this race. That bottom groove is a little disadvantageous, though. We'll see if he can make it stick off of 2.
Yeah, here's the thing about the bottom lane as we watch the 81 try to make this pass. We were watching the 3 car up there in the bottom lane, and now the 3 car has moved 4 or 5 rows back in this field just because he hasn't been able to get to the top lane at all in this race. And here comes his teammate Ironhouse back there passing him now, who's been in the outside lane all race, and he's just been following the people who go up to the front out there. He's passing people who started on the front row. So the bottom lane, not the place to be right now. And it looks like coming out of this corner, if the 81 can't get ahead of Keon Daley, he's going to get passed by him. Oh, he's going to stay to the bottom. Oh, he's moving up to the top. That's a good decision. Block that 52 car. Take away his line. Now he's going to go low here. Man, there's a big move from behind. This is always going to be fascinating to watch this thing, to see which lanes progress, especially through these runs and when the tires start to wear a little bit. You know, it's going to change how this track handles, where it's going to be better to run on this track. So right now the outside lane is pretty good, but maybe eventually in this thing, you know, the bottom or the middle lane is going to be better. We just have to wait and see.
Right now, as things stand, it is a Kings Motorsports 1, 2, 3, 4. Martinez, Runkle, Caggiano, and Daley all running in the top 4 positions. Here comes Keon Daley around the outside, trying to make a move on his teammate and his championship rival, Ryan Caggiano, for the 3rd position. Caggiano holds it at the line. We'll see if Daley can take it going in the 1. Caggiano's going to get the entry speed, but Keon Daley is just going to have so much more momentum coming off of that corner. This pass shouldn't be too difficult, but we'll see, because these guys are really going to give it everything.
Yeah, so all the championship drivers, especially these two we're watching right now, they need all the bonus points they can get. They can get a bonus point for leading a lap. They can get one for leading the most laps and having the fastest lap in this race. So if you can get all 3 of those bonus points and have it so that your championship contender also doesn't have those points, then you're going to be sitting in a really good situation. Of course, we've yet to see either of these drivers lead a lap today, so they don't have any bonus points right now. But Keon Daley is driven from 10th all the way up to 3rd, or fighting for 3rd right now. His car looks really good, especially while he's out there on the outside. Looks like he's going to be able to finally complete this pass and the 81 car. Yeah, but he's going to go down. I don't know. He's still side by side. He's got a huge run, though. It looks like he's going to try to sneak to the outside of the 18, maybe 2. Doesn't look like it. 18's going lower. And now Keon Daley going up to 2nd place, fighting for that spot. So, yeah, that is fast Arby's Toyota right there. We'll see if he's able to get up to the lead and start ticking some laps away in this race.
But all Ryan Caggiano needs to do is keep Keon Daley in his sights. If he can do that, he should be able to maintain this championship lead, as we look at Elijah Ironhouse making a move on the outside of both Caggiano and Runkle for the 3rd spot. He's getting a push from his teammate Alex Vigeperu. They're going to dive it off into the 1st corner, and Ironhouse makes a strong run towards the outside on Ryan Caggiano. This is 3 wide for 3rd behind Keon Daley and behind race leader Nicky Martinez, who has led more laps today than she has in the previous 24 races this season combined. So right now, Nicky Martinez having her best run of the season, as Keon Daley gets so close to the wall. He's going to try and go for the lead off of 4.
Oh, man, I don't know if the low lane is the way to go. I mean, you got to be desperate. You got to try to get the lead, but I don't know if it's that time. I mean, the bottom lane isn't very good. We got fast cars coming on the top. I mean, you just watched Elijah Ironhouse go by Ryan Caggiano, who made a crazy move to the middle, 3 wide. I mean, you're trying to hold the championship lead, going 3 wide at this track, lap like 17 right here. It's not the most wise decision, but we'll see how it works out. And Keon Daley so far is looking like a huge favorite to maybe be able to get the win. Oh, but the 8 car is going to have a huge run. Now Keon Daley's going to be stuck on the bottom.
Coming round turns 1 and 2 at lap number 18. Elijah Ironhouse, car number 8, alongside Keon Daley. Daley holds the spot for the time being. Ironhouse, though, with the run off the top and the help from his teammate in the 3 car, they're both sending it off into turn number 4. It is a Kings Motorsports 1-2. Oh, they're squeezing each other up towards the wall, and the Team Duke car is running 3rd and 4th. But they're going to continue to work together, pushing each other past Keon Daley, move Elijah Ironhouse up into 2nd place.
Yeah, not even the lap 20 in this race, and they're already getting a little crazy on that outside lane. I think that maybe it's a little bit too early for that kind of thing, but of course, you know, these drivers know what's fast around this racetrack, and right now, the 8 car headed to, the 3 car going to the outside now. It's, man, oh man, this is crazy. Now we're 3 wide with championship contenders on all sides. Man, this is going to be a crazy battle for the whole of this race. And Keon Daley, now that he's on the bottom lane, remember when he tried to make that move for the lead on the bottom? It did not work out against Nicky Martinez on the top. And now moving all the way back, far back in the pack.
Getting
this
passed
is
now.
not very good.
Getting passed now by Ryan Caggiano and by Kevin Carter in the 07, making a one-off appearance in the Nitro National Series to get seat time for tomorrow's championship race. But Dylan Young now makes a move on the Team Duke cars of Alex and Ironhouse for second and third. Dylan Young, an outsider shot at the championship. He needs to have the 81 and the 52 have dreadful days, and throwing Sam's in that for good measure. Dylan Young is not out of this yet, but he needs a near perfect day while everyone else falters. But right now, no one's having a more perfect day than Nicky Martinez. She's led all but 2 laps so far. She continues to lead this race over Alex Rajep. And how about Jared Jackson in the outside group, making a move up into third? This is his last race in the Nitro National Series before moving up to the Superstar Series in 2022. He wants to win this race badly. He does not want to end this year with a goose egg in his win column, and he'll do whatever it takes to put that 23 car up in the victory lane.
You're right, and this season has been an incredible season for Jared Jackson. I mean, with all those Superstar Series starts, along with the National Series starts that have gone so well, here comes Ryan Caggiano to maybe take him off that pedestal for a second, go by on the outside with very swiftly there. But, Jared Jackson, he's been having a great season. He wants to get that win so bad because it's just... The situation is that he's never been able to finish off one of these races. He's led a lot in this season, and he's been able to be up there fighting for wins, but just never has it worked out that he was the one leading across the line. So today would be huge if he was able to change that. However, he's got a lot of genuine contenders around him in this race. Look at this huge pack that we've got still, all with a shot to be. I mean, here we're going through the field now. Look at all of them that are all within a second or two of each other. I mean, it's like a pack race right now. And Keon Daley has fallen pretty far back.
He's fallen back to the 10th position, and he might lose that spot to Aaron Hall in the 7, maybe, as well as Autumn Koger in the 2, Mark Davey in the 38. Keon Daley is in danger of falling out of the top 10 here, but no such issues for Ryan Caggiano. He's making a move on the high side, trying to make a move around Alex Rajep in the 3. Doesn't quite make it work, but he gets alongside the 3 car to assert his position, and this should be an easy pass for the 81 driver out of Australia, trying to become the first ever 1UP Nitro National Series champion, and he's doing everything he needs to do right now, running in third behind his teammate.
Yeah, this is an incredible run so far. I mean, once the 81 got to the outside, he has rocketed up to the front of this field. And you can just see how much better that outside lane is right now. It doesn't seem, like it's a ton better, but it is significant enough. It's significantly better enough to the point where they're able to drive away from these people. Alex Rajep right there just fell from 2nd place to 4th place in that one straightaway. So he comes back a little bit on the inside at the entry of the corner, but then by the time they get down the straightaway, it's just no shot for those drivers on the inside lane. And of course, the inside lane is more like the middle lane here at Homestead.
We got an issue here for one of our former playoff contenders. It is Brett Bishop in the 34 with a mechanical issue on pit road. His season might be over with that. Jake McMillan also had an issue on pit road. He is now 1 lap off the pace. Brett Bishop's season, as I said, might be coming to an end here with a mechanical failure at Homestead-Miami Speedway. It's a tough way to say goodbye to Brett Bishop, but we'll see him again in the Turbo Truck Series next year for his cell phone team. We're looking forward to seeing what he can do down there. But right now, it is Nicky Martinez out in command of this race, ahead of Jared Jackson and Ryan Caggiano side by side for second. Austin Runkle trying to make a run out of it on the high side. Autumn Koger gets dangerously close to the wall in the back of your shot in the 10th position. Keon Daley has fallen out of the top 10 altogether. He currently runs 11th in that 52 car. Now up back into the top 10.
This is a very fascinating situation for me right now, because Nicky Martinez has a great car, and we're watching it because Ryan Caggiano fell back and has come back up to the front. Alex Vergeparubas fell back and gotten back up there. The 23 has come up through the pack. The 18 fell back and is now driven back up there. They're all passing a lot. Every single lap, there's a lot of passing going on in this whole group. But for the whole race, nobody has been able to pass Nicky Martinez for the lead. So that's a really fascinating thing that's going on right now. And I believe that it's just due to Nicky Martinez has a significantly better car and is blocking just the right lanes to be able to stay out front.
And one car you no longer see in the top 10 is Elijah Ironhouse, car number 8. He had an issue as well, similar to Jake McMillan's. He was in and out of the pits. He will fall off the lead lap as well, but he should be able to make it to the end of the race from here on a contrarian strategy. But right now, the focus is back up front. Jared Jackson diving underneath Nicky Martinez for the lead, going into turn 1 on lap number 30. And Jackson, he's got to realize that this is a futile effort, because Austin Runkle's already alongside him on the outside line. And, well, he's actually gaining a little bit of time now. No, he's losing it back again to Austin Runkle. He's got to realize that he's got to get back up to the top as soon as possible. As here goes Austin. Oh, and he makes contact with the wall as Austin Runkle in the 18. He rim-rised the outside wall off of turn 4. Doesn't seem to have scrubbed off much speed, though. He still keeps trucking on in 3rd place.
Wow. Well, he wasn't able to keep that momentum on the outside that kind of threw this whole pack into a mix. That was, I was going to say, that was the first time that we saw somebody gain that much speed in the corner on Nicky Martinez, but it was because he wasn't able to make the corner. So that's incredible. The 18 car, though, these Nitro cars, real tough. They're able to take a beating and keep on ticking here. And, Austin Runkle back up in 2nd place, and now he's trying to get back up there, maybe pass on the outside. This is it. On the outside, down the front straightaway, he's going to have the preferred lane going through turns 1 and 2, and down the backstretch, I believe this pass will be made for the lead. The 18 car back up front.
And in only his 2nd career one-up Nitro National Series start, Austin Runkle takes the lead back from Nicky Martinez. He had an up-and-down day at South Boston in his series debut, but here it's for the most part purely up for Austin Runkle as he powers around the outside of Nicky Martinez. He should be able to lead at the line. It'll be a close one at the stripe. It is Austin Runkle at the line by the slimmest of margins. And now we got some new challengers up the front. Here's Autumn Koger in the 2 car for Royal Performance Motorsports. Let's see what she can do.
Yep.
With these contenders up front. This is Royal Performance Motorsports' last race in the Nitro National Series. They're going to close up shop and focus on the Superstar Series, so Autumn Koger wants to send them off with a win.
Yeah, so this is really a fascinating race right now. And notice how Nicky Martinez, I said that I thought the 18 was going to be able to clear on the backstretch as soon as he got to the outside in turns 1 and 2. Well, just now he has cleared, and Nicky Martinez is not giving up on that bottom lane. I have not seen anybody run the bottom as well as Nicky Martinez, and it just solidifies that 25 car gonna be tough to beat today.
And side by side, once again, the 2 championship protagonists, Ryan Caggiano and Keon Daley, this time in the battle, 47th position on the racetrack. Daley has the advantage on the high side, but Caggiano is hanging tough on the inside. We're about halfway through a fuel run here at Homestead-Miami Speedway. These tires are going to fall off quite a bit. These lap times are already struggling to keep up. We're already about a second and a half slower than we were at the start of the race. These cars are going to slip and slide a lot more. Could we see a similar story to what we saw with Austin Runkle earlier? Miss the corner entirely, wash up into the wall, and lose a ton of momentum.
Well, I bet you all the spotters and all the crew chiefs are telling the drivers right about now that you need to be careful. Not everybody's going to survive that multiple times. And here comes for the lead, the 2 car, Autumn Koger headed up front. So now that the Nicky Martinez is not up front, we're getting passing for the lead now. So this is our 3rd new leader of the day, I believe, and the 2 car. Looks like maybe she'll clear down the backstretch. They're going to be side by side, but
it looks like she will be able to clear. But Runkle's going to send a dive down in the turn 3 just to make sure he keeps alongside this 2 car. But I think Koger is going to have the advantage off of 4. They're going to be side by side coming to the line. But Autumn Koger is going to lead this race, her 2nd race lead of her career in her 11th career start. And Autumn Koger is your leader at Homestead-Miami Speedway, with Austin Runkle second. Alex Verget-Berube made his way back up to third. Nicky Martinez slipping back to fourth, with Dylan Young rounding out the top 5.
Yeah, to get back what I was to what I was saying, you know, these cars, you know, they can take a beating. They can hit the wall, you know, maybe 2 or 3 times, you know, and Runkle hit it pretty square, and it was pretty light, relatively, you know. So he was able to continue going and able to take the lead. Now he's losing positions because he's on the bottom. But I think that all these cars could do that, but you don't want to use up your car too soon in this race. You know, we still have a pit stop that's going to decide a lot, because there's going to be undercuts, there's going to be overcuts, and we're going to have to wait and see who gets out ahead towards the end. And then maybe at the end of the race, if you want to risk riding right up by the wall, maybe sending it harder into the corner than the person in front of you, you want to be able to use up your car a little bit more at the end of the race, as opposed to using up now in the beginning of the race. And that's just going to be an experience thing. You know, if you have the wherewithal to do that, if you are able to think of that, you know, maybe there's been meetings before this race, team meetings. I know I talked to my drivers, save your car to the end of this race. So that's the kind of thing that these drivers are going to have to really think about in this race. And, you know, the 18 sent it in too hard, hit the wall, was able to keep going, is able to still have a fast car, stuck on the bottom right now, but definitely still a contender in this race. And I think that all these drivers are going to have to remember that going to the end of this race, that you can hit the wall a little bit, but not too much.
We can confirm that Brett Bishop never did get his car back out on track. His day and his season are over with a broken engine on that number 34 Ford Mustang. He will say goodbye to the Nitro National Series a little earlier than he planned to, but we wish him all the best of luck in the Turbo Truck Series in 2022. Now, looking back at this battle, ooh, Keon Daley squeezing Aaron Hall up towards the wall. Daley slams the door shut on the number 7, and that is a very close squeeze for Aaron Hall, and especially for Keon Daley, who cannot afford a single mistake today.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd be making that move. I mean, I know it's important to be on the outside, but right now, at this point in the race, I'm thinking you gotta be careful, you know? Like I was just saying before, be careful. Don't use up your car. Don't let yourself, I mean, look at that. The 7 is shooting to the outside.
This time he does let Aaron Hall go, though. He realizes that it's not worth the fight to hold back Aaron Hall. And look at that, Aaron Hall's actually shot up 2 spots in that. He got past his teammate and team owner, Kevin Carter, in that same move. So moved the 7 car up into 7th place. But right now, the battle for second rages on between Alex Verget-Berube and Dylan Young in this 92 car. Both drivers returning to the Nitro National Series in 2022, and I imagine that both will be serious title contenders once again when we come back here 12 months from now.
Yeah, and speaking of serious contenders, we've got the 25 car. Nicky Martinez has found herself back on the outside lane. Look at that, higher than anybody else in the corners right now. Moving back up to the front, about to pass Dylan Young around the corner here. Way better run into the corner than the inside lane, and then coming off the corner, it'll be the same story. Second verse, and you know, Nicky Martinez coming back up to the front. It's going to be intense to watch this this 25 car get back up there, because we haven't seen a lot of action like we were seeing when the 25 was up front. Now the pack is starting to condense a little bit more. We're seeing side by side deeper into the field yet again, and the 2 car isn't out of range by any means. So it's about to get really interesting up for the lead in a couple laps here, and especially because I know we've got pit stops coming up soon.
Autumn Koger, in preparation for her first full-time campaign with Finish Line Motorsports in the Nitro National Series next season, she's looking to get her first career win before that even happens in this Royal Performance Motorsports number 2. But here comes Alex Verget-Berube in car number 3, trying to take position number 1 away from car number 2, Autumn Koger, in the Royal Performance Motorsports Toyota. But right now, one car who's on a serious charge is this 7 car, Aaron Hall. He started 18th. He started 18th in this race. He's making a move now around Dylan Young for the 4th position, and I don't think he's done yet.
No, not at all. following the 25 back up to the front, which is not the worst decision you can make in this race. I mean, going back up to the front, making it happen on the outside lane and pushing the 25 out there. Now, I'd say you probably want to be ahead of the 25 once you get out front. But at this point in the race, still with the pit stop coming, I'd say try to be at the front. That's kind of going to be the best way. But now we're looking at our championship contenders who have both fallen back. They can see each other on the track.
And now Ryan Caggiano has fallen outside the top 10 entirely. He's now fighting Sam Donotto for that 10th position. And this green car you see in your shot, Jake McMillan, he is on fresh tires. He is one lap down. He is going to breeze his way past these guys and probably going to unlap himself before too long. He's going to try and make a run to the end, but I imagine those tires will start to decay, and by the time the front runners get fresh tires, he'll be a sitting duck when that time comes.
Yeah, so speaking of pit stops, and fresh tires, you can go 50 to 60 laps in this stint here. We're at the point where if you were to pit now, you could make it to the end. It's past halfway, so it'll be a shorter stint in the next one, no matter what happens. And here comes Elijah Ironhouse also on fresh tires passing these guys. But I'd say looking at those guys, because they pitted a while ago, like towards the beginning of this race, I'm thinking that if you want to pit, you should pit early here. And you're going to want to have fresher tires than these guys. Go out there, set some flying laps, and get ahead of these guys. Pit now. Why not? The championship's on the line. You should do it. The only worry is that if you were to pit now and then people were to wait until the end of the fuel run to be able to come in, then they're going to have fresher tires than you. And here's the 7 car way on the outside. Man, oh, man.
Here comes
this
Martinez
is incredible
again.
racing.
For the race lead, Nicky Martinez is going to try and take it back from Autumn Coker. Another thing these cars need to worry about pitting too early. If a caution were to come out and trap them a lap down, that could spell the end of their championship hopes right there and then. If Ryan Caggiano, for example, would have pit early, get trapped a lap down, finish in the high 30s, and Keon Daley finishes right where he's at, Keon Daley would be your Nitro National Series Champion. So Ryan Caggiano has got to manage the risk versus reward of green flag pit stops, and he's got to realize that no matter when he pits, he's got to do whatever that 52 car does.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be play defense for the 81 car. Do exactly the same thing, because it's a 12-point gap right now. So really, the big points are awarded in the top 2 positions because they're separated by 5 points over third, and then an additional 5 points for first. But every other position is only 1 point. So you'd have to, as Keon Daley, you have to finish 12 positions ahead to be able to gain those points back. And here we've got a move for the lead. They're 3 wide with the lapper, and the 7 car, after all that, has come up through the field and taken the lead of this race. And wow, what an incredible run it was around the outside of this racetrack on old tires. This car is going to be one to watch for coming to the end of this race.
Aaron Hall won 2 of his first 3 career Nitro National Series starts back in March and April, but he has not won since. He's made the 1-Up Nitro National Series playoffs on the strength of those 2 wins, despite missing the first 3 races. But he's still waiting to get that 3rd career win. He's been missing out since those first 2 wins back in April. He's really looking forward to getting back to victory lane, and his status for next year is not yet confirmed, nor is his teammate Sam Donotto. So a good run from both those cars here today would signal to Kevin Carter, the team owner of those cars, that these 2 guys are worth re-signing because they're capable of winning races and winning them quite often.
Yeah, this really is an incredible run from the 7 car. I mean, man, we thought that he was going to be like the guy to beat when he came into this series on race 4. We watched him just dominate the competition. Nobody could beat him, and then it kind of tapered off a little bit. And he was able to make the playoffs. He's still technically, mathematically able to win the championship here. He's getting passed by Elijah
Actually,
Ironhouse
at this
on
point,
fresh
he no
tires
longer
there.
is eligible to win the championship because he would have needed Ryan Caggiano to finish dead last in this race, and Brett Bishop is already there. As we've got green flag pit stops underway here at Homestead-Miami Speedway, it looks like that the 2 championship contenders have pit together. Keon Daley's in the pits. Ryan Caggiano's there as well. So, and here come the rest of the leaders right now.
Yeah, that's the correct move here for the leaders. It's a really busy pit road, as if the caution has come out. No caution on the track. It's just a lot of pit stops. Every single car at once. Got to watch out. People coming into their pits, people exiting their pits. Look at this. It's incredible. There's only one car on the racing surface. Everybody else is exiting the pit lane.
Alex Verstappen did stay on the racetrack to get a bonus point for leading the lap. So he should have fresher tires come the end of the race. We'll see if he can come back at these guys. There you see him at the back of your shot entering the pits. But two cars that you see going around the track still, Jake McMillan and Elijah Ironhouse. They pitted about 30 laps ago, and they are going to try and make it to the end of this race on the tires they've got. It's a very bold call, very risky, but we will see, though, because they're going to cycle out to the race lead before this is said and done. We'll see what the lead is over these guys. Actually, Kevin Carter is going to get the undercut off on his teammate Aaron Hall, and critically, so is Ryan Caggiano. So the 81 is going to move into a net second, because these two are currently battling for the lead, but the real battle for the top spot, as you see Alex Verstappen exiting the pits right now, the real battle for the lead, as you see Elijah Ironhouse take the actual lead of the race from Jake McMillan here. The real battle for the lead is between Kevin Carter and Ryan Caggiano. They're going to be about 10 seconds behind these guys, but they will be closing in at a breakneck rate of speed, and the battle for the race win is very much still alive.
Yeah, this is you know, I think that there were probably issues that led to maybe these cars having to use that strategy unintentionally, you know. So that's the situation right now, but they are 10 seconds ahead, and somehow they found each other side by side. Not anymore, but you know, it's going to be an interesting thing to watch once they are getting past. You know, will that hold somebody up, and how is that going to affect this championship? Because right now, here's Ryan Caggiano, who chose the right strategy and has gotten off the pit lane. It seems to be significantly better than Keon Daley,
who is currently running in the 16th position on the racetrack. Not at all what that 52 car wanted to see. So Ryan Caggiano very much in the catbird seat right now of the championship, as we're closing in on 25 laps to go.
So now that in this race, you know, you watch Ryan Caggiano, who hasn't had the fastest car all day. Neither has Keon Daley. You have to think the Keon Daley, you know, is so far back at this point. Who else could possibly get up there and win this thing? Well, Sam Donotto is the closest on points, and he also nowhere to be found. He's in 10th right now. So
as things stand right now, Sam Donotto would leapfrog Keon Daley into second in the points as things run right now.
Yeah.
So Sam Donotto could now be the closest contender Ryan Caggiano has to deal with. But Ryan Caggiano is about 4 seconds clear of Sam Donotto right now, and that gap between the two on the alternate strategy up front, Elijah Ironhouse and Jake McMillan, and this group of cars battling for third, is getting closer and closer every lap. A few laps ago it was 10 seconds, now it's down to 7.5. We'll see what it is at the line right now. Now it's down to just 5.9 seconds. These two are closing in on McMillan and Ironhouse at an alarming rate. These two cars are going to be sitting ducks by the end of this race. They're going to be lucky to salvage a top 10 or maybe even to finish on the lead lap.
Yeah, you know, it's just that strategy. I mean, they were able to gain a ton of time because they were on fresh tires while everybody else is on older tires, but now the roles are reversed and these guys are on fresh tires, whereas they're on older tires. So it just hasn't worked out. I don't believe that was the strategy idea going into this race, of course, but you know, it's where they found themselves. They're going to get some lap slot out of it, which is pretty nice. And this is the battle for what will be the lead at some point in this race, some point soon. And Ryan Caggiano, all of a sudden, this car has come to life, and he is fighting for on the bottom for this thing, and he's making it work.
21 laps to go in the one-up Nitro National Series season for 2021. You see Chris Lattimore on pit road with an issue. That will drop him off the lead lap. But this net battle for the lead, Ryan Caggiano diving to the inside of Kevin Carter, and you can see Jake McMillan right in front of them. These two cars are going to try and maybe split the 21 going into turns 3 and 4. This is going to be really close going into this set of corners. Oh, yes, they're going to split the 21. coming through 3 and 4. They've moved up into second and third. Now they're going to chase down Elijah Ironhouse very easily for the race lead.
Yeah, they're only just more than 2 seconds. It's going to be less here. Yeah, just less than 2 seconds now. So no shot for those guys. It only took about 3 laps to gain 10 seconds on those guys. I think you're right. I don't know if they're going to be able to even stay on the lead lap at this point. It might be beneficial for them to come into the pit lane now, make a 2-stop strategy out of it, maybe pass these guys back. But it doesn't really matter. They don't have a shot for the win without a caution. So this is effectively the battle for the win right now with Ryan Caggiano in it. You know, we were watching him at the end of the run, and he was just, there was nothing happening for both him and Keon Daley. Well, Keon Daley is still back there. He's not able to do anything right now, but Ryan Caggiano, here comes the pass for the lead. The 07 car going for it right there. Caggiano.
And it looks like Caggiano is actually being held up. Going to be held up behind Ironhouse here. Caggiano needs to get up to that high side as soon as possible, and he does so, quickly getting around the 8 car. But that's allowed Aaron Hall to close back into this battle for the lead. We could have a 3-car battle for the race win. We have less than 20 laps to go from Homestead-Miami Speedway. The championship and the race win still up in the air as to who's going to win it all. But right now, it looks like Ryan Caggiano's title to lose, and he might even steal a race win here before it's all said and done. It's Ryan Caggiano's championship to lose at this point, with Aaron Hall coming up on the outside of the racetrack, trying to make a cross-under move work. He's going to try it. I don't think it's going to work. We'll see. He's going to make a Herculean effort into turn 1. It's just not going to be enough, I don't think. Ryan Caggiano trying to get to the outside of Kevin Carter. This is going to try. If Ryan Caggiano can lead a lap in this race, that will drastically improve his bid for a championship. He'll get that bonus point. I don't think he can get the most laps led anymore, and I think the fastest lap has gone to Dylan Young, actually. And as the laps continue to tick away, the chances of taking that fastest lap back get slimmer and slimmer. So it looks like Dylan Young will hold on to that point. He'll keep that for the rest of the season, which is 15 laps away from being over anyway. But these 3 cars battling for the win with 15 laps to go in the 2021 season. Ryan Caggiano in the thick of the battle for the race win and in the catbird seat to win the series championship.
This is intense battling right here. You know, we got 2 wide for second place. The leader is right in front of him. And I don't know if the 07 is holding them up right now, but Aaron Hall is making moves on the bottom. I mean, he did the cross under coming out of 4 a couple laps ago. He was able to get side by side with Ryan Caggiano. Now he's cleared Caggiano, and he's side by side for the lead on the bottom. This is a changing of the tides maybe in this race to see, to watch this bottom lane prevail, you know, without a lot of cars behind pushing that outside lane. The bottom lane has become a lot more equivalent, and Ryan Caggiano is just right behind both of them, desperately trying to find somewhere to go, trying to get around the 2 of them, maybe try to steal a win in this final race of the year, but right now it's not really working out. Aaron Hall going for the lead instead.
2-Cutter Racing System Toyotas against the Kings Motorsports entry of Ryan Caggiano. But don't look now in this race, but Alex Vergepperube is starting to close in on these guys. He pitted a lap later. He's got fresher tires. He's only 2.8 seconds off the lead. Could he get there in the remaining 13 laps of this race? It's yet to be seen. He needs to get around Jared Jackson in a big hurry, and it looks like he will this time by. Carter continues to lead. This championship is going to come all the way down to the white flag lap.
Yeah, this is going to be something special to watch. You know, Ryan Caggiano, you know, there's no better way to win the championship than also winning the race that you win the championship in, you know, because then you're the only one out there celebrating because you got all these, you know, if you have somebody who wins the race like Aaron Hall, big story for Aaron Hall to win this race, been trying to win again after that great
and we got a
streak in the
smoker on
beginning.
pit road. It is Kason Cooper in his final Nitro National Series start before moving up to the Superstar Series. It will end early for the 51 car in an engine failure. He will fall out of this race with just 12 laps to go in this race. But right now, it is still these 3 cars battling for the lead. Alex Vergepperube, though, still back there. He's gained about half a second on these guys in the last 2 laps. it might be possible for him to make up that lost ground. As here comes Caggiano to the outside. He's going to try and make this move stick. And coming off of turn 4, oh, Carter just shuts the door on him. Carter continues to lead.
That is close. I mean, this is close quarters racing. We got only 11 laps to go. I mean, this thing is this coming to the close, and all these drivers know it. They want to win this race. They want to be the last guy who is victorious in the season. And here comes Ryan Caggiano on the outside. They're leaving him that lane right by the wall. That's where he's got to run if he wants to win this race, but he also has to be careful. He's got this championship in the bag right now. Don't ruin it here while you're trying to fight for the lead. There's still just 3 cars fighting for it right now. This is absolutely incredible.
Coming to 10 laps to go in the 2021 season, Alex Sergeperu cut down another 0.3 of a second on the last lap. He's making a charge at it. He's going to have to get around Chris Lattimore in the 47, who's actually on fresher tires. He should be able to unlap himself fairly easily from these guys, get back to just being 1 lap down in this race. But right now, it is Carter, it is Hall, it is Caggiano. 1, 2, 3, and Carter gonna get a push from Caggiano off of turn 4. We're closing in on the final 10 laps. We're in the final 10 laps now. It's Caggiano's title to lose, but it's still a race win up for grabs.
Yeah, right now it's looking really good for these 3 drivers that we keep watching in the screen. And it's just going to be about who gets the right runs at the right times and the right part of the track, you know. And right now, Aaron Hall has fallen into this lane. Now it's a conga line around the top middle of this racetrack. And then Ryan Caggiano goes to the outside. This is going to be the move right here. Coming around, they're side by side for the lead. Ryan Caggiano in the preferred lane.
And he leads that lap. That's a bonus point. He needed that to cement his championship advantage over Keon Daley, who is still mired in the teens in this race, never quite recovered from that slow pit stop. He is likely not going to exit this race as champion. That will likely be driver from Australia who dipped down to the Nitro National Series after a year in the Superstar Series last year, wanted to reestablish himself as a contender for wins and for a championship. And right now, he is only 8 laps away from doing just that.
Yeah, this is looking really good now for the 81. All he has to do is block at this point. So I'll tell you what, man, this is something really awesome that we're watching right now. Ryan Caggiano came into this race. All he had to do was finish top 2, top 3, you know, and he just had to be there. And then he had it all locked up. And now here he is leading this race with a few laps to go. And it's something's going on here. It's special, and it's going to be a special day for Ryan Caggiano if he's able to hold it off.
You see this black and blue car of Chris Lattimore. He is 2 laps down. He's going to try and unlap himself from the race leaders. That will come in a few laps' time. But notice that red and white car at the back of your shot. Alex Sergeperu. He's caught these guys. He's caught Kevin Carter. He's going to try and get around Kevin Carter. This 3 car is not out of the mix yet for this race win. There's only about 5 laps to go, but realistically, this 3 car on the fresher tires could mount a serious charge here, especially if Chris Lattimore is keeping all the leaders pinned on the bottom.
Yeah, this could be big news for the 3 car. I know this team. I mean, I'm with them. You know, the regular season was so fantastic, and then now, you know, sitting there just in the playoffs, completely out of contention in this race. But it's the Iceman behind the wheel, you know. He's still in it and just always wanting to win, always finding a little bit of a different strategy. I mean, the 8 car had to try something. It didn't really work out. But the 3 car, however, on a separate alternate strategy, has done some good. And now it looks like Aaron Hall on the outside, yeah, it's going to get side by side for the lead. So this thing is not over by a long shot. And we've got 3 cars genuinely in contention for the win right now.
4 laps to go in the season. Aaron Hall takes the lead back from Ryan Caggiano. Caggiano, while I'm sure he would have loved to win this race, I'm sure he'll be satisfied with winning the war instead of this one battle at Homestead-Miami Speedway. He knows that if he can finish right where he's at right now, he will be champion in 3 laps' time. But here comes Alex Sergeperu. He's got fresher tires. He's got the outside line. He's getting alongside Ryan Caggiano now in this race. 3 laps to go from Homestead-Miami.
Yeah, Alex Sergeperu, he is on a mission. This car is, look, they're giving him the outside lane right here. I don't know if that's a good idea, letting the 3 car to the outside. I mean, Man, there's dirty air from Chris Lattimore up there, so this is interesting. Now Ryan Caggiano is stuck there on the bottom lane. He's not going to have much of a shot to get there. The 3!
Oh, they make contact!
Oh my gosh!
Contact off of turn 4, coming to 2 laps to go in this race. Alex Vergit-Barube gets alongside Aaron Hall with just 2 laps remaining. Ryan Caggiano has got to think he should just start backing off. Let these guys have their little moment in the spotlight here. Soon enough, he will be champion if he can hang on. He can even let Kevin Carter pass him right now. Back and forth. Dylan Young back there in 5th. He can even let him pass. Because right now, we're coming to the white flag, and Ryan Caggiano is about 2 miles away from his championship.
So Chris Lattimore came through, and he blew through these leaders, and now he's just stopped in front of them, and they're catching up to lap cars. The 21 car again. You know, this is incredible racing. We got 1 lap left in this thing. They're coming across the line, and they're side by side. Who's going to win it?
Coming off of turn 2 for the final time in 2021, Ryan Caggiano, though, is got to be the main focus of this story. Like I said, he dropped down to reestablish himself. He wanted just to cement his legacy as a top-tier driver. As they come to lap Jake McMillan, this is going to be huge. Coming off of turn 4 for the final time is going to be Aaron Hall that's going to win this race. But behind him, it is Ryan Caggiano that is your 2021 one-up Nitro National Series Champion. He has done it. The Australian native has done it. He has achieved the biggest crown in racing. He is the Nitro National Series Champion, right behind race winner Aaron Hall.
Wow, what an incredible drive at the end of that race. You know, we were watching this thing and thinking that he wasn't going to be contender for the win, and neither was Keon Daley and all the championship contenders that were in there. You know, it wasn't his day. And then the pit stop happened. Totally turned it around, had a shot to win, came home 2nd place. What a drive from the 81 car.
And a tip of the hat as well to Aaron Hall from 18th on the grid to his 3rd career win. He leaves 2021 and his rookie season with a lot of momentum. He'll be looking forward to 2022, wherever that leads him, as he pulls into his pit stall. But Ryan Caggiano, he's done everything right in his career. He won a Superstar Series race last season at Martinsville. That proved he was pretty good on the short tracks. He's won 2 races this season in the Nitro National Series. He's done everything he needed to do, and now he can celebrate as a Nitro National Series champion, the first ever one-up Nitro National Series champion. And with that being said, we say goodbye to 2021. What a season it was. From the final lap at Pensacola, where Sam Donotto and Devin Fair came together, giving Kenneth Grant the win, to today's race, where Aaron Hall grabbed his 3rd career win, and Ryan Caggiano leaves it with a championship. I've been so glad to do these races with you. It's been an absolute pleasure. I'm just looking forward to 2022 now. With these contenders all coming back for another year, these guys have got to be looking forward to this next coming season as much as we are.
Yeah, it's been a fantastic season. Watching these cars every single week, or you know, most of them, it's something special to enjoy every single time we're out here. So I'm so thankful to be part of it, and man, I'm looking forward to the next time.
And that next time will be in March, when we return to Pensacola International Superspeedway for the first race of the 2022 season, where Ryan Caggiano will look to start his championship defense on a positive note as he looks to tame the high banks at Pensacola in 2022. So, from Duke Anzac, and from myself as well, for the final time this season, we say goodbye. From the Homestead-Miami Speedway, Aaron Hall's your race winner. A masterful job to get that race win. But the big story today, Ryan Caggiano, the Aussie, has done it. He is your one-up Nitro National Series champion for 2021. We'll see you next year. It's been an absolute pleasure bringing you the action so far.